Garcia's hurt bad.
Strickland, Sean Strickland with a massive KO!
Ever wondered what it takes to break chains and rise to the top of the MMA arena? What kind of grit, determination, and sheer willpower is needed to emerge victorious against all odds? Well, today, we're talking about the unyielding tale of Sean Strickland, a fighter who has done just that. You'll be amazed by this video and the life of this great fighter, so stay until the end to know everything. Every hero has an origin story, and Sean Strickland is no exception. Born and raised in Corona, California, Strickland's childhood was far from ordinary. He grew up in a household where the specter of physical and mental abuse loomed large. His father, a man who should have been his protector, was instead a source of fear. Home, which should have been a safe haven, was more like a battlefield for young Sean. But even in these dark times, Strickland showed signs of the fighter he was destined to become. He stood up against his father, defending his mother from the man's wrath. This act of rebellion led to his father's brief arrest, marking a turning point in Sean's life. He was close to his grandfather, a man with neo-Nazi views. Influenced by him in the film American History X, Sean adopted these views. He idolized the characters in the film, their dirty, white trash lifestyle, and their respect. But life had a different lesson in store for him. Strickland's life took a dramatic turn when he was expelled from school. Reason? A hate crime in 9th grade. His mother, desperate to set him on the right path, took him to an MMA gym. And that's when everything changed. Sean met people from different races who helped him, causing him to abandon his previous ideology. He realized that he didn't hate anyone. Everyone was cool. The people who helped him out in his life, they weren't white. It was here at an MMA gym that Sean found solace. And let me tell you, training in the gym was more than just learning how to throw punches or mastering grappling techniques. It was about discipline, about channeling his energy into a positive way.
Benson is coming off a decision win over Edmund Shabazian back in May.
He learned to channel his anger, his frustration into his training, transforming them into a driving force that pushed him to work harder, to become better. And boy, did he work hard! Day in and day out, Strickland trained, pushing his body to the limits, owning his skills, and mastering the art of MMA. He was like a sponge, absorbing everything he could from his trainers, learning, growing, evolving. And as he trained, as he sparred, as he took hits and got back up, a fighter was born. A fighter who would go on to become one of the most formidable names in the MMA arena. A fighter named Sean Strickland. In 2008, he made his professional debut in the world of MMA. He was a young fighter stepping into the cage, his heart pounding with anticipation, adrenaline coursing through his veins. But hell yeah, he was ready. He had trained for this, prepared for this. And when the cage door closed behind him, he knew there was no turning back. Strickland started his career with a bang. He was a force to be reckoned with, maintaining an undefeated record of 9-0. But it was his fight against Josh Bryant that truly put him on the map. The fight was for the King of the Cage Middleweight Championship, a title that many fighters dream of, but few achieve. And you know, the stakes were high, the pressure immense. But Strickland was unfazed. He stepped into the cage, his eyes focused, his mind clear. And when the final bell rang, it was Strickland who emerged victorious. Winning the King of the Cage Middleweight Championship was a validation of Strickland's skill, his hard work, and of course, his dedication. It was a sign in just the beginning that Strickland was on his way to becoming one of the most formidable names in the MMA arena. But let's be honest here, Strickland's journey was not easy. It was filled with challenges and obstacles. One of the major challenges that he faced was during his fight against Israel Adesanya at UFC 293. Many expected Strickland to be defeated easily.
Champion measured early on, right-hand connection for Strickland.
But Strickland, with his unyielding spirit, proved them wrong. He literally outperformed Adesanya, shouting at him as the fight neared its end. It was one of the biggest surprises in UFC history. But how did he do it? He made Adesanya's life difficult. He managed to make it a grueling fight without having to lean on Adesanya or wrestle him. He did it the old-fashioned way by punching him. Strickland also had to face the dark side of UFC's ongoing fighter pay dispute. He openly discussed the financial struggles UFC fighters face. He touched upon the meager earnings of past UFC fighters and their stark contrast to the lucrative deals enjoyed by contemporary athletes. He explained the financial hardships fighters face today, with those in the Dana White Contender Series making only $5,000 for a fight and $5,000 more if they win. Even after making it to the UFC, fighters might earn just $10,000 for a fight, an amount they need to sustain a career in a physically demanding sport. Strickland also had some setbacks. He had been floating around in the UFC's top 10 rankings, but setbacks to Alex Pereira and Jared Cannonier had halted his title aspirations. But you know Strickland, with his never-give-up attitude, bounced back with back-to-back wins over Nasruddin Imavov and Abis Magomedov. Moving on, let's talk about Sean Strickland's most memorable fights. You know the ones that fans will talk about for years to come? One such fight was against Brendan Allen at UFC Fight Night, Felder vs. Dos Anjos on November 14th, 2020. This was one of the initial fights that significantly elevated Strickland's status in the middleweight division. Fresh off a victory over Jack Marshman just 2 weeks earlier, Strickland was ready to prove that he was a force to be reckoned with. And prove it he did, with a dominant second-round TKO over Brendan Allen. Let's have a look at that fight highlight. Moving on, let's not forget about the fight that truly put Strickland on the map against Uriah Hall at UFC Fight Night on July 31st, 2021. Strickland showcased his relentless work rate and aggression, dominating Uriah Hall in his first middleweight main event. Unleashing a constant rain of punches throughout all 5 rounds, Strickland connected with a whopping 186 significant strikes before claiming a one-sided unanimous decision victory. Well, another memorable fight was against Jack Hermansson at UFC Fight Night. Hermansson vs. Strickland on February 5th, 2022. Strickland cruised to victory, maintaining control for most of the fight by relying on an overpowering jab that consistently snapped Hermansson's head back, delivering rapid-fire punches throughout the entire bout.
Under a minute to go, round 2.
While ensuring he evaded any significant counterattacks, Strickland proved once again why he's one of the top fighters in the middleweight division. Let's take a peek at some of the highlights from this fight. Strickland has had some memorable fights, but where does he stand today? Let's talk about his current status in the MMA arena. Currently, he holds the prestigious title of the UFC Middleweight Champion. A professional competitor since 2008, he has carved a niche for himself in the world of MMA. As of now, he's ranked number 8 in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. He's expected to make his first title defense against Dricus du Plessis on January 20, 2024 at UFC 297. This upcoming fight is eagerly anticipated by fans and critics alike who are keen to see how Strickland will fare in his first title defense. So looking ahead, Strickland's future in MMA seems promising. There is speculation about a potential move to boxing, which could open up new avenues for him. And his coach, Eric Nixick, believes that Strickland has the potential to make a successful transition to boxing, much like Francis Ngannou. As for the fans, well, they've been vocal in their support and admiration for Strickland. His victory over Israel Adesanya at UFC 293 won him wholesome reactions from fans. And fans have also appreciated his quieter demeanor and kindness towards his partner, as seen in the UFC 293 embedded featuring Strickland's girlfriend. His call to go buy guns and ammo also triggered mixed reactions from fans. Alright, for those of you who've stuck with us till the end, we've got a special treat for you. We're going to share some interesting facts about Sean Strickland that you might not know. Consider it a bonus. Fact number 1, motorcycle accident. Did you know that Strickland had a near-death experience in December 2018? He was riding his motorcycle in Los Angeles when a car hit him, knocking him unconscious. But being the fighter he is, he bounced back stronger than ever. Fact number 2, Tarzan of the Ring. Did you know that Strickland's nickname in the MMA world is Tarzan? It's a name that perfectly captures his fierce and relentless fighting style. Fact number 3, training with the best. Strickland doesn't limit himself to one gym. He trains at various gyms including Millennia MMA Gym, RVCA Training Center, Syndicate MMA, and Extreme Couture. This diverse training regime helps him stay versatile and unpredictable in his fights. Fact number 4, free agent. After his fight against Noureddin Talib on October 27, 2018 at UFC Fight Night 138, Strickland became a free agent by fighting out his contract. This move showcased his confidence in his abilities and his willingness to explore new opportunities. And that's a wrap for today's video. An unyielding tale of Sean Strickland, a fighter who's truly breaking chains in the MMA arena. But what do you think? What's your favorite Sean Strickland fight? And how do you see his next upcoming title defense against Dricus du Plessis playing out? Drop your comments below. If there's another fighter whose story you'd like us to cover, you can let us know. And if you enjoyed this video, why not like it and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our next videos. And as always, thank you for watching.